learning how to invest your money well so that it can grow into $1 million or multi-million dollar nest egg and support you when you're ready to stop working is essential. So today I want to talk to you about the 5 biggest mistakes many people make when it comes to investing and how to fix them. Hi, I'm Tasha Cochran. I'm a lawyer and a wealth expert, and this is One Big Happy Life, where we help you find balance, build wealth, and live happy. Everything that you need to create the life that you want. Investing is such an important part of any financial strategy. We live in a time where people don't stay in the same job for 30 years anymore, and pensions are fewer and further between. And the social safety net, like Social Security, isn't really meant to create a financially abundant life, which many people want to have in retirement. So learning how to invest the money that you're making right now and get it to grow into millions and multi-millions that can support you and create a legacy is so essential. So what is it that holds so many people back from getting started with investing? So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be diving deep into some of the biggest mistakes and misconceptions that people have that stop them from learning how to invest their money well and getting started with investing. Before we dive in, I want to let you know about a live investing workshop that I'm going to be teaching called Investing Made Simple. In the workshop, you will learn how to start investing and create an investing plan that allows you to build your first million or multi-million dollar nest egg on autopilot. So we're going to learn about how investing works, why it's important. I'm going to teach you the investing lingo so that you actually understand what you're investing in and why. And I'm going to teach you a simple 5-step framework for getting started with investing that you can implement right away. When you sign up for the workshop, you're also going to get a lifetime access to the replay, so you can revisit it as many times as you need to. You'll also get the companion workbook, which is where you're going to actually plan out your action plan during the workshop, because we're going to do that together. So head on over to onebighappylife.com/workshop and save your seat. Now let's dive into the 5 common investing mistakes people make and how to fix them. Investing mistake number 1, they think that investing is something that they can put off until later. So why do people put off investing even though they know that time is of the essence when it comes to giving your money the time that it needs to grow? Well, part of it is that, well, we are actively taught that that's what we should be doing. So you've probably heard the idea that you should wait to invest until you've paid off your debt, or at the very least paid off your high interest debt. But that's not necessarily true. So for example, I have never, once I committed to starting to invest, which is one of the best decisions I ever made 10 years ago, I have had credit card debt on and off. It's been a few years, but at no point did I ever stop investing so that I could pay off high interest debt faster. I understood that it was incredibly important, not only for me to invest, but to continue to actively push towards increasing the amount of money I was investing so that I could have the nest egg that I wanted. And so here's the problem with when we learn to prioritize other financial goals, especially goals that are not related to financial stability, like an emergency fund. When we prioritize something like paying off debt over investing, what that teaches us is that there are things that are more important than investing, that investing is actually not that as important of a financial goal. Investing goes underneath paying off debt. And so when we deprioritize investing in our minds, it makes it really hard to then start prioritizing investing. And the other problem is that the longer you wait to get started investing, the more money that you need. And so it starts to feel even more and more overwhelming. In the meantime, life keeps happening all around you. You need a new roof, you need a new tire, you need a new car. And so all of these other reasons keep coming up to stop you from investing, and you're used to putting investing on the back burner because that is what you have been taught. So that's one of the reasons why people put off investing. Another reason why people put off investing is because they don't know how to invest, and it feels very overwhelming. It feels like there's a lot to learn. And so they don't feel like they have the time to put into learning how to invest. And so they tell themselves, well, again, they can do it later. So how do you fix this common mistake? And the answer is really simple. You just have to commit to adopting a belief that investing is essential, that it's not something that you can put off, and that it's important for you to get started right now, even if all you're getting started with is $25 or $50 a paycheck, which is exactly what I did. And you would be surprised how just doing that first, making that very first commitment, that very small commitment to $50 a paycheck, and then also committing to increasing it over time can strengthen your ability and your resolve to invest consistently as you see your money grow, as you see that you have the ability to not touch that money and just let it sit there and grow for your future self. You'll become more and more confident, and you'll want to contribute more and more towards that goal. The second common investing mistake that many people make is that they don't know how to get started and they stay stuck. And again, this is not surprising because many people don't learn about investing growing up. In fact, investing as on the scale that we invest now is actually a relatively new occurrence. So now we have all of this opportunity to invest, but the knowledge isn't being passed down because people haven't really learned it yet. I mean, I was an economics major, so I took money and banking. I took the personal finance courses. I was a banking and finance attorney. And even still, investing and learning how to invest my own money and invest it well and master the financial habits that it took to continue to invest consistently, no matter what else happened in my life, and to not touch that money, learning those skills was a challenge even for me. Yes, investing does come with a bit of a learning curve, but look, it is learnable. You can learn it, and you are absolutely capable of learning it. So how do you move from this place of feeling like you don't understand, feeling like it's something that you can't figure out, feeling stuck, to becoming someone who can confidently make investing decisions, someone who is certain that they are on the path to having the million and multi-million dollar nest egg that they need to have in order to pay for the life that they want to have in retirement? How do you become that person? And the answer is that you just commit to learning. You step into the belief that this is something that you are capable of learning, and you just don't give up. Like, you will figure this out. And of course, that's one of the reasons why I'm teaching this workshop, to give you the information that you need in a way that is clear and easy to understand and concise, that you can refer back to, and that actually gives you an action plan. So that's what you need to keep yourself moving forward, though. The first step is just stepping again into the belief that you can learn this, right? And reminding yourself, I can learn this. This is essential. So also reminding yourself that learning it is essential. It's not something that you can put off forever. And in fact, the more that you put it off, the harder you're making it for yourself to actually hit your goals. So if you keep your goals and the vision that you have for your life in the forefront, it's going to be so much easier for you to say to yourself, hey, self, we want this for ourselves, for our future self, and for our current self. And the way that we get this is by making sure that we get the education that we need so that we can make these kinds of financial decisions with confidence. Like, seriously, just have that conversation with yourself. I have conversations with myself all the time. All right, mistake number 3 is a big one, which is that they've started investing, but they don't know what they're investing in. And so here's what that looks like. Putting money in your employer-sponsored plan, and you have no idea what you're investing in or why. You didn't really look at all of the different options. You didn't even evaluate whether your employer-sponsored plan was actually the best place for your money to go. Or maybe you leave it up to your partner to invest. And a lot of women do this. I hear them say it all the time. Well, we invest, but my husband, he manages the money, he manages the investing. So, I don't really know. He takes care of that. And so again, this is a function of, well, he can do it better. I can't figure it out. I don't have time to figure it out. I don't want to figure it out. But the reality is that as women need to have more money than their husbands because they live longer. plus coupled with the fact that women tend to make less than men, dollar for dollar, and that women live longer than men. It's so essential that even if you have a partner that manages the finances, and maybe in your case, your female partner that manages your investments, it's so important that both partners know how to invest, that both partners understand the investing decisions, and that you make those decisions together, even if one partner goes ahead and executes that plan, because you make better decisions when you're both making decisions together. Not to mention that practicing making good decisions makes you better at making good decisions in the future. So if you defer to your partner and let them all make all of the financial decisions, it leaves you later in life unable to make good financial decisions, and you definitely don't want that. Another way that not understanding what you're investing in shows up is when people outsource their investing to a financial advisor. And, I'm all for outsourcing. I'm all for working with a financial advisor, but not as a substitute for you fully understanding what you're investing in and understanding the strategies that your financial investor is choosing outside of what they are telling you, because it's your job. No one's going to manage your money as well as you will. No one will care about your money as much as you do. And so it's your job to make sure that you understand where your money is going, you understand what your financial advisor is doing, and that you know enough to also be able to ask questions about alternatives. Why did we choose this over this? I see you chose this, but look at the expense ratio. Explain to me why you chose that. You want to be able to know enough to ask your financial advisor questions. Now, the last place where I see people outsourcing their understanding of what they're investing in is by following along with a friend's quick tip, or a friend, a social media person that you're following, a YouTube video that you saw, a Reddit forum maybe, looking for little quick tips and not understanding why the people are making the recommendations that they do, just hoping that you happen to land on a hot stock recommendation, but not actually doing the legwork yourself, not understanding how stocks work, not understanding how investing strategies work, just kind of hoping that you happen to stumble upon the next Bitcoin or GameStop. And that's certainly not a sound investing strategy for the long haul. The truth is that what you don't know has a price. So not understanding your investing strategy is costing you. It's costing you in your lack of confidence in your own investing strategy, in your own financial decision making. Imagine how it would feel to step into a place of knowing, to make investing decisions with confidence, because you know that you have the foundational knowledge that you need to make good decisions. It's also costing you in depriving you of the ability to start making those kinds of decisions, right? Because we already talked about how when you don't make financial decisions, your ability to make those decisions actually decreases over time. So you've got to start practicing making those solid investing decisions. You've got to build your investing foundational knowledge so that you can make those investing decisions. And of course, when you don't understand what you're investing, you're putting yourself at greater risk because you're relying on other people to give you the best possible information for you and your specific financial situation. When the truth is, again, no one is going to care about your money, care about your financial future more than you. Even a financial advisor can only give you information based on the information that you give them. And they're still not going to be there with you every single day when you have to continue to make financial decisions. Unless, of course, you pay them a lot of money, which is totally fine, but again, is not a substitute for you being able to make solid financial decisions by yourself. So how do you fix this? First of all, you've got to step into your rightful position as a decision maker, whether it's alongside your partner or whether it's with a financial advisor or even you by yourself. And again, the way that you do that is through solid financial information and education, not just quick tips and easy strategies, but really deep understanding of your finances, your goals, and how different investing strategies align with those goals. All right, common mistake number 4 that people make, they don't invest because they're worried about the risk and that they will lose all of their money. So how does this show up? So people don't invest at all. Maybe they have a whole bunch of money sitting in a savings account because that makes them feel safe. And they're just sitting outside of the stock market because they're worried that they're going to make a bad decision, or again, because they don't know how to start. So they feel like they actually can't execute a solid investing strategy. But the truth is that when your money is sitting outside of the stock market, you are losing money regardless because of inflation. Money loses value over time. Remember how a Snickers bar used to be 50 cents, but now they're like $1? Or if they are 50 cents, they're kind of small compared to the size that they used to be back in the 80s and the 90s. That is the value of inflation. So $1 today will not be able to buy the same amount of goods as $1 10 years from now. The dollar 10 years from now is worth less money. So if you have $1 just sitting in a savings account, it is slowly becoming less than $1. Its buying power is becoming less than $1 over time. So when you are investing, not only are you preserving the value of your dollars, right? Because they're growing at least a little bit, but then you're allowing those dollars to grow and make you more money, because it's incredibly difficult to save your way in a savings account to a solid enough nest egg that would support you financially for the rest of your life. And of course, that is the biggest risk of all, right? Not having enough money to support yourself for the rest of your life at a time when you may not be able to continue to work, even if you want to work. I often hear people say that, well, they haven't started investing yet, and so they're just planning that they're going to have to work for the rest of their lives. But the truth is, you may not be able to work for the rest of your life. And so that is a major risk that you're facing when you're not investing your money, when you don't have the financial resources to support yourself and you're counting on your body holding out when you're older to continue to support you. So let's talk about how you can fix this. How do you overcome that feeling of risk? Aside from the fact that I already told you, there's the 2 other bigger risks, which is number 1, your money losing value over time. So you have less and less money over time. And number 2, not having enough money to support yourself in retirement. So what else can you do to help yourself overcome that feeling of risk and fear of losing your money? While yes, all investments carry some amount of risk, there's so much that you can do to help mitigate that risk so that you're not worried that all of your money will disappear. And part of that is learning how to invest your money, how to put together a diversified portfolio, meaning you're spreading out your risk, and also how to take control of your finances and step into that belief that regardless of what happens, that you can figure out a way to adjust as the market adjusts around you. And we're going to be talking about that more inside of the workshop. Which brings us to mistake number 5 that people make when it comes to investing, which is that they think that they're going to have more money later, and so it is going to feel easier to start investing. And we already touched on this a bit, but the truth is that it doesn't feel any easier in the future. You're just telling yourself that it's going to feel easier later because that gives you a reason to not get started right now. And so you keep waiting and waiting and waiting for the day when it feels easy, and that day never comes, because the truth is life continues to happen. And as you go through life, and let's just say you're paying off debt. So you did that first. You paid off your student loans, you paid off your credit cards. Now you have this extra money. Life is going to happen. You're going to want to live your life. You're going to want to buy a house. You're going to want to maybe have kids, get a different car, upgrade your kitchen. Life keeps happening. Take that nice vacation that you've been putting off, that dream vacation. Those things are going to keep happening. And so it never gets easier to set a new priority, because that's what investing is. It's deciding that you are going to earmark some of your cash for stuff that it's true that you won't actually reap the benefits of for maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line. And learning how to do that when you're not doing it never becomes easier, because you can always think of other things to do with that money. So how do you fix this? How do you get past these thoughts of, oh, well, it will be easier in the future, so let me just wait till it feels easy? And the simple answer is, you just have to let go of the belief that at some point in time, it's just going to feel easy. I can tell you from personal experience that it took years before it started to feel easy. And there were still, even after it started to feel easy, there were times when things got crunched where it started to feel hard. So for example, when I quit my job in 2019 to run the business full time, I made the decision that for a year, I wasn't going to continue to invest in the stock market, that instead I would invest in my business. So I saw that as a different type of investment, but also in the back of my mind, my goal was to catch back up. So even though I wasn't planning to invest in the stock market, I wanted to put all of the proceeds back into my business. I said to myself, well, let me try to see what I can do to still catch up and make those contributions by basically before I needed to file my 2020 taxes. And I did it, but boy, was it challenging. Once I broke the habit, it became challenging to get right back into it, even though I'm 10 years in. It's kind of like an exercising habit. You can exercise for years straight, and then you take a few months off, and then it feels heavy when you're starting from the beginning. And so my point isn't to say that hard is bad. My point is to say that hard is normal, right? So never expect for change to be easy, because it never is. What's easy is what you are already doing. So once you accept that, hey, it's gonna feel tough, and that's okay, but it will start to feel better. And you will start to get really excited as you see your nest egg grow. And as you think about your future and what you are building for your future self, it will start to feel easier and easier. And you will get to a point where you don't even think about it because it's happening on autopilot. Those are the 5 biggest mistakes and how to fix them. And again, I want to invite you to go even deeper with me on investing for wealth, investing to build your legacy and your multi-million-dollar portfolio, no matter where you're starting, by heading over to onebighappylife.com/workshop and signing up for Investing Made Simple. And I will see you there.